instead of having to go truck.
Guess we'll see what happens.
Right? Okay.
Our number one shooter was literally like right under us at like 5 yards.
Girl! Oh, I'm so proud of you. Hey everyone, it's Jada. On this week's episode, we're going to be hunting whitetail in our home state of Michigan. It's November 12th, we're in the blind, and the activity has just started to pick up because of a snowstorm that's been coming through. We're hoping today one of our target bucks will be on the move.
It's November 12th, though it doesn't look like November 12th. It looks more like December 30th, and it feels like it. But we're out here in northern Michigan on our home property. We just got back from Kansas not too long ago, and I'm finally getting out, and the deer are definitely starting to rut. Well, not starting, they are rutting good right now. Lots of rubs and scrapes all over this property. We're just a few days before opening day of rifle season. But I normally like to shoot stuff with my bow, so we're out here. Hopefully a nice buck will come through here. This is one of our prime spots. It's very cold out right now, so the deer should be moving, and hopefully something happens tonight.
A couple does pop up out of the woods, and shortly after, one of our target bucks.
Still right here.
Unfortunately, that buck never stopped and cruised by. He still was not far from us in the corn, and as we were watching him, one of our other shooters decides to step out right underneath of us.
We've had a pretty exciting afternoon so far. For a last minute sit, kind of. We just had both of our shooter bucks come through, literally a couple minutes apart. The first one came through and we weren't set up in the right window for where he was at, so we got set up, and by that time he was already gone, and we were watching him and he was going around the blind. We were going to get set up in another window, and then all of a sudden I looked over at this window, and our big buck, the one, our number one shooter, was literally like right under us at like 5 yards, if that. And I pulled back, and there's snow on the ground in here, and my seat just moved like a little bit, and up. And so we went off into the corn and we had to watch them just walk away. But hopefully they come back this way. But it's exciting. The rut is definitely on. These bucks are chasing does. They're grunting. They're looking for a girlfriend. So hopefully they come back. If not, we'll be hunting them again this week. And hopefully we can get a deer on the ground.
When we return, I head to the tree stand, hoping that I'll get a shot at one of those bucks. Before the break, I had an encounter with our number one shooter. I'm headed back out tonight to sit in a tree stand, hoping that he'll come back out.
We're back out here in the stand tonight. It's November 20th, I believe. Of course, today it's been weird. The bucks have actually been moving midday, but I've been at work all day and couldn't get here until now, but we're feeling good about this spot that we're in. This is a spot where I had pulled back on 2 different bucks last week, but unfortunately I couldn't get a shot off, but they've been traveling through this area, so we're hoping tonight's the night. My dad is not far from us in a redneck blind that is facing a different way, so he won't be shooting towards us, but if for some reason these deer get past us and make it over his way, he'll shoot them over there, but I'm feeling good about tonight. Hopefully tonight's the night. It's been a really slow evening so far. We've only seen a couple deer and they haven't even been anywhere near us. But we can hear a couple bucks that we think are probably fighting. We can hear their horns hitting together, so hopefully they'll come over here and one of them will be one of our shooters. The rut is on the tail end, so I'm surprised that they're still fighting and stuff, but hopefully they come over here, we can get a look at them, and hopefully it's one of our shooters.
It sounded like they were finished fighting, and then out came our buck. Let's see if he gives me a shot. I didn't have a shot.
I thought you were going to draw back earlier.
Well, he was walking right to us and I never had a shot. He never even came broadside.
And once again, this buck slips by. When we return, we head out for gun season, and this buck's days are limited. So far, our Michigan deer season hasn't gone as planned. Our number one shooter has eluded me twice, and something has got to change. It's now gun season, and I promised my fiance Neil that I would take him out to shoot his first Michigan buck. So we decide to head out to a field that he's been frequently visiting, so let's hope that this plan works out.
It's November 16th, the day after opening day, and Neil and I are back out here trying to get him his first buck. So we're in a spot that's got a real big cornfield and alfalfa in front of us, and there's lots of tracks, lots of movement in here. So hopefully we see a big buck. If not, we do have land management doe tags that we can use as well. So I think it's gonna be a good night. If anything, we'll shoot it up.
Yep. Then the herd. Lay the smackdown on old Miss Nanny.
As the sun set, more and more deer were starting to come out to the field. We were just waiting for the big boy to show up. A smaller buck shows up and starts chasing the does, and we were hoping this was going to get a bigger buck's attention. As darkness started to set in, we had a decent buck show up. He wasn't the buck we were looking for, but we noticed he was paying close attention to something that was behind him. All of the deer run out of the field, and then a coyote appears. And whenever a coyote comes out, it quickly turns into a hunt for him. We finally get the coyote to stop, and Neil takes a shot. Unfortunately, Neil misses the coyote, and we head home empty-handed. The next morning, we head out to a new spot where we would hope no coyotes would show up, but the buck we're after would.
We're in a blind this morning, where my dad sat last night and saw a few nice bucks chasing and whatnot. This is what I call Maddie's field because it's where Maddie shot her first buck. Whenever you shoot your first buck in a field out here, you get it named after you. So this is in Maddie's field, and the bucks are still chasing. We're looking for the buck that I had underneath me a couple days ago, but couldn't get a shot. The same one that Neil had saw last weekend, couldn't get a shot. So hopefully it's a good morning, nice and cool, and the bucks are still running, so it should be a good morning.
A group of does appear on the far side of the field and start working their way towards us. Soon after a buck appears, he looked good at first, but after a minute we realized he had a broken G3, so Neil decided to pass. Something got this buck's attention, and when we looked back in the woods, we saw the buck that we've been after coming right into the field.
I'm on him, but I'm not going to be able to stay on him for long. Because he's going to go out of the line
You
of
need to
sight.
shoot him in the front?
I'm going to lose him.
Before the break, Neil and I were back in the blind and we had a decent buck coming right in. Soon after a buck appears, he looked good at first, but after a minute we realized he had a broken G3, so Neil decided to pass. Something got this buck's attention, and when we looked back in the woods, we saw the buck that we've been after coming right into the field.
Okay, just a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna be able to get on him. Just a second. Okay, I'm on him, but I'm not gonna be able to stay on him for long. Because he's gonna go out of the line.
You need to shoot him in front.
I'm gonna lose him.
Are you on him?
One second. I'm on him. Okay. He just went down. He went down. Oh my gosh. Wait, just a second. Okay. Oh my gosh, he's a big one. I couldn't get him going down, but I did get the shot.
Big right down.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we were sitting here, and I saw that, we saw that smaller buck that's going to be a really good deer for next year. It had really, really good potential. He was, we're estimating a 2.5-year-old
Oh my.
with G3, or he has that G3 broken. And anyways, he kept looking back, and the corner of this field connects to another really, really big alfalfa field I planted last year. And anyways, he steps out. We had to wait for him to get in camera angle. I kind of shot him quartering to me, but he's freaking down. He's a really, really big buck. It's my first Michigan buck, the first buck I've shot since 2014, 5 years. So.
Oh wait. He's nice. Is that the one? That's him.
That's him.
That's him, babe. That's the one you almost shot last weekend. It's him.
That's him.
It's the one I had right underneath me the other night. What do you think?
I love it. It's a big deer.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's awesome.
Set this down.
12 point.
When he came out, to be honest with you guys, I didn't know exactly which buck he was because we have a few that are pretty nice out here. But when we stepped out, I knew that he was going to be a shooter, and I was having a hard time getting the camera adjusted because Neil was shooting. It was just he was in an awkward spot, but I did get it on video, as you guys saw, and he's a beautiful, mature buck. I mean, this right here is what it's all about. This deer right here may not look like a giant to you guys out-of-staters, but in Michigan, this is an absolute beauty. He's a mature buck, he's an older buck, and he's gonna make a beautiful mount and a really cool memory for us in our home together.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
really happy, and got another big boy down here in northern Michigan. That's all the time we have for this week. Make sure and tune in next week for more Michigan whitetail hunts, and keep up with everything we do in the outdoors on social media and at bigboystv.com.
Okay. I think we've had enough of that.
Roll Tide.
Wait, you gotta tell me what just happened. What just happened? Just tell me what happened for a second. Babe.
We had a doe in the field when we got there because Jada wouldn't get out of bed.
Why do you call them nannies? They're does.
They're nanny does.
A nanny is a goat, like a female goat.
Or a female deer.
No,
Yeah.
that's a doe.